When I was 16 years old, I was kidnapped by a man named Lewis Bell. I was the third and final girl that Lewis kidnapped. Believe it or not, Lewis was a nice guy. Totally insane, but still decent. He fed us, gave us clean clothes and privacy, and when the time came, he told us his theory. Lewis believed that the women who burned in the Salem witch trials were innocent, but the act of burning them turned them into witches. Lewis was so convinced of this that he was willing to test his theory, and that's where the three of us came in. After a very short struggle, we were all tied to a giant post, standing on what must have been $1,000 worth of firewood. I like to pretend that one of us slipped their knots and ran to get help, but that's just a fantasy. The truth is, all three of us were burned at the stake, and however bad you think it was, I promise it was many times worse. None of us died, though, because Lewis's theory was correct. The three of us walked out of the ashes, changed. Millie was the first to use her magic. She vanished into thin air, and I'm sorry to admit that none of us ever saw her again. Ava was second. She made Lewis's head explode, and despite everything that had happened, they still gave Ava life in prison for murder. None of us ever saw her again either. That left me. As for my magic, I could see and communicate with the dead, and honestly, dead people are assholes. Mostly they just wail and keep you from getting a good night's sleep. After about a year of that, I was ready to become a ghost myself, and that's when I started drinking. I thought if I got wasted, I could finally get some sleep, and that's when something funny happened. Drinking made the ghosts go away. I don't know if it weakened my magic or just made me not care, but it worked, and from then on I drank. And drank. And drank. And after years of silencing the ghosts, I realized I had a bigger problem. I had become an alcoholic. At this point, the AA group is looking at me like I'm wasted, but I'm almost done sharing, so I try to wrap things up. I knew I had to stop or it would eventually kill me, and when it did stop, the ghosts came back. So now I'm trying something different to keep them quiet. Mark, I pointed right at him, Rose doesn't blame you for her overdose. She says you need to forgive yourself and start living for you. I went around the circle and gave everybody advice, just like I did Mark. Then I grabbed my things. Leaving already? The group leader asked. I've got 2 other sessions to attend if I want to get any sleep tonight. I smiled and walked away.